Two new quests have just arrived in MapleStory GMS with today's patch. First one is in Morass, and that's called Ranheim Defense, and the other one is in Esfera called Esfera Guardian. I'm going to be covering both of them in this video. You can complete and succeed in this 3 times per day, and obviously that's for per quest. And the reward you get is 6 symbols each, and that's each day, not each completion. So let's get right into the Morass minigame. So for the Morass minigame, you charge the light magic that is indicated on the top yellow bar that is glowing yellow whenever it is maxed. And whenever it is maxed, you cannot kill more monsters to make it charge up more. So you can only have 1 shot per max gauge. And essentially how you charge a gauge is basically by killing the monsters all around the map. And that gauge is usable by pressing NPC chat key. Boss monsters will periodically appear on the left and right far end side of the map, and you can check where the boss monster is by either the red flashing arrow that's on the left or right side of your screen, or you can also look at your mini map, which also has a red dot showing you where the boss monster is. And ideally what you want to do is just kill monsters around the map. And then once your light gauge is at the max and you see a boss monster, you just run towards the boss monster wherever it is, and then hit NPC chat key to fire the light magic rod at the monster. Now these monster only takes 1 shot from the light magic rod to kill, and the idea is to kill these boss monster 9 times, after which the last boss monster, called Hecaton's Fragment, I think that's his name, to clear the whole mission. And the whole Hecaton Fragment takes approximately 3 to 4 shots to kill. So essentially you have to build your gauge 4 times and max it out 4 times, and then fire the shot at him 4 times. He also disappears after each shot to reappear at a different location, so just be mindful of that. And if you do not clear this daily before time runs out, or before the HP bar runs out, the HP bar is indicated on the top red part of the map, and if that runs out or if time runs out, then you automatically fail. And you can, if you fail, it's not a big deal, you can always go back and redo it. The 3 time per daily count is based on how many times you succeed, so as long as you do not clear, it won't count towards anything. The next one we have is Esfera Guardian. Esfera Guardian is basically a similar concept where you kill monsters on the left side of the map now to charge a gauge that is indicated in the bottom section of the screen, the blue glowing gauge. And ideally what you want to do is just essentially max this by killing monsters on the left hand side of the map. I think the monster spawn might be affected by Fury and Wild Totem spawn or Frenzy Totem spawn, but I'm not sure. But either way, none of us are really rich enough to have a Frenzy Totem anyways. So once you max your gauge, you can go to the turret, which is located on the right side of the map. And to use the turret, you basically just use the sit button, which I do not have on my keyboard, so I actually had to put it on my keyboard. I don't know why they don't use the NPC interact chat key, but they use the sit button, but whatever. So as you see on the left hand side of your screen, there is basically a simple instruction for how to use the turret. And essentially you can use the up and down arrow to aim. To fire, you use your spacebar, and to move the camera to check up on the dimension fragments, you have to hold down shift plus whatever arrow key that you want to go in. And on your mini map, I'm sure you probably noticed, there are 10 red dots, and those red dots essentially show you where you need to fire the turret to. And it's basically just Angry Birds, but MapleStory edition. And you have 2 types of ammunition, and they consume different amount of gauge depending on which one you pick. So the regular one is just basically a projectile that goes up and down like a parabola, and the other one is a straight firing beam, laser beam, and that takes up 3 Erdas per fire, whereas the parabola one takes only 1. So choose the one that you want wisely, and it's not a big deal if you do fail and you just go charge more. It's not really a big issue. So how you aim it, you kind of have to work an experiment to see how to aim it. I'm not exactly super good in that department. I just fire one, and whatever it lands on, I try to just adjust up or down depending on where it landed, and then I just fire another one. And the laser one, what you want to do is obviously use the move camera function. So you hold down shift and you make sure that the laser beam that you aim it at is pointed at the right one that you're trying to hit. And keep in mind, again, this is a straight line shot, meaning it's not going to fall down or go up. It's just literally going to go into a straight line. It's different from the parabola one, and you switch between the two by using the A and S key. And the amount of Erda that you have left is indicated on the top of your head. So it's either times 10 or less. Once you reach 0, you have to get off the turret and you have to go back and charge more gauge. And after 3 minutes that the mission starts, there is a sherbet support shot that will be dropped and automatically be used to destroy 2 twisted dimensional gates. I haven't really seen it. And obviously you fail if you cannot destroy all of those fragments in time, but you have 40 minutes, so you really should not be failing unless you're just very bad at aiming. The power fluctuates between lowest and highest setting, and if you do not press space when it is at its highest, it will basically only go so far. And essentially, obviously more power means further distance, and you would just press space at whichever firepower that you want. Very self-explanatory. These 2 daily quests are basically exactly the same as other daily quests. So if you are higher level, you can limit the amount of this that you have to complete per day. And for me, for example, I'm level 270 and above, so that means all of the pre-quests that I did for Tenebris allows me to deduct my daily count clears for these 2 Morass and Esfera minigames. Obviously, these 2 quests you've seen are not super challenging. They're probably on the same range as Erda Spectrum, Chu Chu PQ, Dream Defender, and probably easier than Spirit Savior. And it's also really not capped by damage, so as long as you have some sort of decent damage going into these 2 regions, you'll be fine in one-shotting these monsters. And both the quests, you basically just TLDR, charge up a gauge by killing regular monsters, and then use that to do something and accomplish the final objective of the game. So yeah guys, hope you guys found this video helpful. If you guys have any questions, let me know. If you liked the video, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. As always, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.